Jevro alongside his teammate Chino, going up against Cresu, RSX, and Juno.
I hated that movie.
You weren't a fan of Juno?
No, I didn't think it was good at all.
Of all the movies that kind of came out around that time that are like Michael Cera-esque, I thought Juno was not the worst of them.
I didn't like it. What other ones were there other than like Scott Pilgrim, which was godlike?
I mean, like, I'm not saying like specifically that like had Michael Cera, but I'm like in my head, I compare like Napoleon Dynamite to that.
I still don't understand
like
why you
era.
have like a hatred for that movie. Like it wasn't great, but it was okay.
I mean, it's just
It's okay.
it was like severely overhyped.
I think it was an
in my
important
opinion.
movie of our generation.
I disagree. It's just it was an alright movie. There we see a different teammate. Valkyr is going to be going on with Peter Jevro, going up against Cresu RSX and Juno. We do see a Nash, a Wushang, a Bodvar, and a Koji. Lots more variation in these character picks.
Huge variety here in the EU scene, also Britain, because you can't really include them in the EU scene because EU stands for European Union, and everybody knows about Brexit. So we're just going to call it the European region. But yeah, like this is the first Koji we've seen today. This is not the first Nash we've seen today, but the first Nash, not the first Nash we've seen this weekend, as Crocky is playing Nash as well. More Wushang than
More
I'm
Bodvar
used to
as well?
seeing. Especially in 2v2.
Yeah, lots more Wushang. Interesting that he would start to come alive in 2v2 right now, especially after that spear nerf. If you're going to be playing gauntlets, I mean, there's still, I mean, Val, Cross, Mordex, all popular picks, especially in EU, where you see like Effie playing that Mordex, where you see Dobrain playing that Mordex. But it seems like Wushang, he's going to be the pick of the day for at least for pools of the EU scene. Peter and Val in the red. But no damage on Val. Peter kind of in trouble as Cresu is getting that chase with his hammer.
Cress is just completely knocking
no touch.
Peter around. He has no options. Looking incredibly strong so far. Now he changes his sights to Valkyr. Tries to follow up with that second dare after the first one. Didn't have the sweet spot, but gets that side signature. Valk just barely living.
Nice dare.
There's the sweet spot on the dare, and Cress is going to take 2 stocks.
You saw him go for the black hole. Cresu had the neutralites, but Juno dropping it was not in position. Cresu's getting the startups on this. He's doing a great job keeping pressure on both red team members. Juno just needs to follow up, and then they're going to have a basically one game. Let Cresu kind of be the initiator, be the one to set the pace for the team, and then as long as Juno can get those follow-ups, that is going to be just a solid play. But a nice gravity cancel downlight into a side air on the right side, sticking with this sword, downlight side air. Juno saying you're getting too much glory, my man. I gotta put an arrow in the back of your head as Cresu falls.
Cress, what are you doing? That's the second time we've seen that happen. The first one was to the roll, and before this time it was on Cresu's Bodvar. And it seems like Juno so far has just been like he's been keeping one of the opponents busy while Cress is just running a train and destroying the other one.
Cresu is winning his 1v1s. Juno does a solid play there on the right side, getting that weapon toss to finish. And there you're seeing it, the follow-up starting to happen. Cresu, he's setting the pace. He's doing a great job of keeping this pressure. But again, like you're saying, Juno doing a good job of kind of being the support on his team, kind of following up where necessary and holding back one of his opponents so that Cresu can set his own pacing. But you're seeing Juno starting to ramp up a little bit, going for these side airs into the weapon tosses off stage. Cresu did get the touch, so he is going to be able to get all the way out to the left side, but immediately takes a ground pound to the face as he gets around.
The recovery from Juno is going to take Peter off the top. He is out of the game. Cresu's able to get back. Oh, Lord, why is he going for a gravity cancel neutral signature at the bottom of the stage? They have 4 stocks to play with as Valk is in the red. Valk is going to fall. You saw the beginning of a gravity cancel taunt coming out, and 128 damage from Valkyr. Oh my goodness.
Creed Claws is real. Well played from Cresu and Juno. That's only going to be game 1, but very aggressive start from them. Just a lot of control, a lot of pressure from Cresu. He was swinging left and right. He was getting the better of both of them. He had the hammer, and he was getting the better of I forgot Peter's teammate's name.
Cresu.
Valkyr. Yeah. because Cressy's the one we're talking about. He got the better of Valkyr in the hammer match, and then he swapped on over to the sword to beat out Peter. It was great pressure, but then Juno holding it down. He was getting those downlight side air weapon tosses for sure, and that was just enough, just that little bit of extra stuff that they needed.
Juno was definitely a lot more active towards the end of the game. He was all over the screen. Even when he was just falling, you were seeing the weapon tosses coming out. That was interrupting the flow of anything that the red team had planned or started to go. So I'm liking the teamwork there between Cressy and Juno. Usually it's like you see follow-ups from one player to the next, but this one it seems like they're trying to separate it. Juno is fighting one player while Cressy gimps the other one. Then they switch. Cressy then goes to the person that Juno was keeping busy while Juno keeps the other person busy. He keeps that 2v1 pressure off of Cressy, and he lets Cressy do his thing.
And that is all that matters, as Peter was thinking about what he wanted to do with his game. It seems like play it is going to be the answer to that, as Cressy going for the aerial gimp, couldn't quite get it. Doesn't have a signature that goes upward in force. I mean, he could have gone for the gravity cancel neutral, but it would have just been horizontal. Wouldn't have really been a kill option. Picks up his teammate. But it's alright, that's fine. He's still getting the better of Peter. He's getting so much damage on Peter. Gravity cancel down, connects off stage as Peter was going for the punish. And unfortunately, he is going to get punished for his efforts.
That move is so brutal. You see it a lot used like right on the corner of the edge, just like
as
you
the
see
Ragnar
Qatar down signature. But gravity canceling it on the wall, it's sort of a risky move. If you have the timing though, it can absolutely end stocks like early to mid orange.
Yeah, it was interesting that he kind of just threw it out there. Peter was on stage, could have easily disengaged, but Cressy just that aware of what his opponents are going to be doing. Oh, they had the starts of a black hole, the neutral light and the bow side light, but Cressy was trying to pick up that neutral stick to go for the kill so they could go for the 2v1 on the Valkyr. Didn't quite work out for them.
And in the blink of an eye, Peter is dead. I was going to say he's red on his second stock. No,
neutral lights and side lights.
Dead.
They're keeping it going.
Here's
no
the
DI.
Damage on Valkyr. I love the sheer amount of damage that the blue team was able to put out quickly.
Back to it. Oh! Couldn't get back in position, and that's one of the reasons why bow is harder to black hole with, is because after the sidelight you have to immediately run back to your position so you can go for another sidelight.
But even so, that was probably about anywhere between 40 to 60 damage, and when you're killing at 150, that's almost halfway. That's a quarter of the way to halfway to death in less than 5 seconds. Incredible efficiency coming out from Cressy and Juno, and they're not even just relying on that. As you see, Cressy, he's gonna get Valkyr off the left all by himself. Doesn't need a black hole gimmick or anything like that. He's able to do it by himself and with his teammate, and read the positioning to get a gravity cancel sword neutral signature. Cressy didn't die that game. 492 damage from Cressy, 475 damage from Juno, less than 150 each from Peter and Valkyr. Systematic destruction and annihilation.
No need for hand sanitizer because that was clean. Peter and Valkyr, between the two of them, could not do as much damage as Juno and Cressy. Cressy taking 98 damage. That is double digits in damage. That is brutal. If somebody can find that YouTube clip of that British, I believe it was a CSGO caster, just saying like brutal, devastating.